Hey, it's Friday. Welcome to your go-to show for sports here on the Shore. Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm Anthony Joseph.
And I'm Chris Brunk. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a lot to get into tonight, Anthony.
We certainly do. Let's go over what we have in store for you tonight. We have highlights for you as Stephen Decatur taking on Queen Anne's. It was a big game. Find out who prevailed, and we'll have an interview with a top softball player on Delmarva. She is working hard to get ready for the season.
And we've got highlights from Y-High and Parkside girls facing off in a thriller, plus results from the first round of the DIAA wrestling playoffs.
We certainly do there, Chris. The 12-5 Queen Anne's Lions looking to take down the 16-3 Stephen Decatur Seahawks in basketball, who are still undefeated in Bayside. We have all the action. Let's get into it. Decatur looking to continue their 5-game winning streak against Queen Anne's tonight. Queen Anne's making the way. Inside ball slapped out and picked up, going back the other way. Noah Tucker, and he gets the bucket. He'll have 15 points in the game. Lions back with the ball. They have it, handed off Mari Baynard from the top, and he'll drain it. Count it. 18 points in the contest. The Seahawks jump up and get the rebound. Bounces it to Davian Chandler, sidesteps and counts it. Wow, it's so pretty when he does that. Decatur would go on to beat Queen Anne 63-49. After the game, head coach B.J. Johnson talks about dealing with rescheduled games and the focus going forward.
It's like an NBA season, man. A lot of these kids play AAU, so they're used to it, and we just got as Mother Nature, we don't have control of what happens, so we're just trying to get the game in before the playoffs. Well, we just one game at a time. Our focus is always defense first and rebounding, and as long as we can do that, I think we'll be in great shape.
Well, you want to talk about dealing with rescheduled games? We had a game that was rescheduled for tonight. Y-High girls undefeated in the Bayside, taking on the Parkside Rams in a huge showdown. Parkside looking to dethrone the Tribe on the road, and the Rams came out playing great defense in this one. Zion Smith gets a hand on that, takes it all the way. She had 10 points in the game. Parkside needed all of them, and it was all Parkside early. Ronnie White catch and shoot from downtown. She had a couple long balls in this game, but no lead is safe when you're playing Selah Foreman. She gathers the ball, step back, butter. That is smooth from the junior guard. Y-High trails by 9 at half, but Foreman willing her team back into this one, taking it coast to coast right here. She dropped 30 on the Rams tonight. Huge game for Selah Foreman. Tribe up by 5 with 2 minutes to play. It's Talia Clark in the corner. She's got it, plus the foul for the 4-point play. Parkside under a minute left. Clark again from the same spot, and that's good for the lead. It's good enough for a thrilling victory for the Rams. Here's Parkside head coach Warren White, fired up after spoiling Y-High's perfect Bayside record.
We're just so grateful for this win. I mean, these kids fought hard. I mean, last night we played at Kenton. We were down 12 in the fourth quarter, came back and win. And tonight we were really in control of this game. We got a little careless, but when things got tough in this end, these kids stepped up. Talia Clark stepped up that big 3 ball and those free throws at the end of this game, and then that overall hustle. We deserve this win tonight, and taking nothing from Y-High. They're a great team, but I tell you, we thought coming in this that we could really take them. And tonight, these kids did everything they could, and we got this W tonight. We're just so happy.
Stay updated while we're at these games in real time.
Make sure to follow WMDT Sports on Facebook and X right now.
Senior Sussex Tech wrestler Dustin Elliott has signed on with Bloomsburg College in PA. Elliott has the most wins in Sussex Tech wrestling history. 161 wins, 22 losses. He is the 2024 state champion at 144 class. Currently, though, #1 at 157-pound weight class. He's been a 3-year captain at Sussex Tech. Elliott is excited to be going to play really at Division I Bloomsburg and wrestle.
Always been a dream of mine to go to a D1 school and wrestle for a D1 school, and I'm just really excited to get back to work. Like, we're gonna have 2 practices a day, like lifting every single day. What landed me on Bloom was really the coaching staff. Like when I got there, the coaching staff was just like very welcoming. Like it was just like really open, like open-minded. They didn't hold anything back. Just very honest with me.
The high school basketball Delmarva Christian course, to volleyball. Lena Milloway is the Delaware Gatorade Volleyball Player of the Year. That is the latest honor she has received. She's a 3-time All-State selection. This season, she has 349 kills, 211 digs. She's wrapped up 54 aces, 15 assists. She's also the Delaware High School Volleyball Coaches Association Player of the Year. Milloway talks about what it means to her to get this prestigious award.
It feels great. It's definitely an honor. But it just makes you think back to like the beginning, like who you really helped you get there and like who supported you. So really grateful. So on the regular basis, I do like strength training, agility training, and then I'll also travel to different tournaments like in Florida and like everywhere just to get the touches in.
Well, Colonel Richardson and Snow Hill, they played this week. They came into the game on some big win streaks. So, you know, when it's a battle of the streaks like that, you know,
you don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, exactly. They were both really hot coming into the game. Keandre Nixon went off in this one. He drained 6 threes on the night for Snow Hill, team high of 32 points in the game for Nixon. Really impressive night. Here it's Jazeer Dickerson with the ball in transition. He gets by his man, bounce pass to Makai Batson, who finishes that play. Batson had 20 points in this game. Now DeMar Brunson into the paint, sidestep, and hooks it for the bucket. He had 25 in this game. Now the Eagles pass stolen by Dickerson. He's running the floor, a swim move into the paint, count it, plus the foul. He finishes with 27 for the Colonels. After a hard-fought game, Snow Hill ended up being the team continuing their streak. They beat Colonel Richardson 77-65. After the game, we talked to Snow Hill's head coach Sean Johnson about playing multiple games back-to-back due to rescheduling. And I guess we don't have that sound from Coach Johnson. But tonight was the dual team wrestling quarterfinals in Delaware. So let's take a look at those results. Amber, can you pull those up, please? In Division 1, we've got Salesianum taking care of Sussex Tech pretty easily. Caesar Rodney not having a problem with St. George's 46-17. Sussex Central over Cape Henlopen. And William Penn in a tight one over Smyrna 34-30. And now we're going to go to Division 2. DMA takes that one easily as the number 1 seed. St. Mark's over Woodbridge 54-23. Laurel and First State Military Academy by 1 point. That was a really good one. And Indian River and Lake Forest also 1 point. Couple really good matchups in Division 2.
They certainly were. Now to high school basketball. Seaford Blue Jays traveled to take on Cambridge, South Dorchester, and really 2 good teams. Seaford looking to continue their winning record against Cambridge. Amari Tingle for the Seaford Blue Jays. She would be on fire as she drained 4 threes in the game, one right after the other. She was feeling it. She had the stroke on the night. 24 points in this big contest. Cambridge with the ball passes. Letitia Todd in the paint, and she'll get an easy bucket. 10 points in the game. Vikings with the ball again into Todd. Pass it out to Shane Ballin. She was balling. Gets the bucket and the foul. They needed that 3-point play. When the team high 14 points, Jordan Evans for the Blue Jays. She was also on fire. Hit 4 threes in the game. She had 12 points. A lot of good shooting in that contest. Fighting back and forth. The Blue Jays were able to come out on top. A huge victory, beating Cambridge 44-39. We're calling our first time out there, Chris, but when we return, I'll have my interview with Stephen Decatur softball player Riley Smith. She's taking a lot of extra batting practice to get ready for the season.
We've got that and more when Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
My name is Fred Johnson, head football coach at Lake Forest High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Delmarva Sports Insider, my special guest, Riley Smith, the softball player with Stephen Decatur. Appreciate you being here. Riley, you're gearing up for the softball season. Talk about how excited you are to soon be playing softball again.
Yeah, I'm so excited for my senior year. Hopefully we can make it the best season yet. Hopefully get all the way to the state championship game.
Talk a little bit. You're doing a lot of hitting in the cage, getting ready for this season. How many days are you preparing, as you're hitting?
Every day is preparing for something, whether it's getting ready with the Instagram, hitting, catching, talking to Coach Kurtz, texting the girls. We do preseason workouts each week. That's super fun. It's a great bonding moment. But every day is something.
Talk about your love for hitting in the cage.
I love hitting in the cage. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's very relaxing for me. And it helps me get ready for my team and to be the best that I can possibly be for them. How's
hitting in the cage going to help you improve, get ready for the season?
Definitely hitting in the cage is working so much on fundamentals. It's a lot of the things that you don't get to work on while you're up to bat. It's all about doing it nonstop and consistently, which is where it shows on the field.
So what have you been working on in the off season to get better for this year?
I've mainly been working on my throwing techniques and hitting a lot. It really just helps that ongoing hitting, which will show up on the field.
What are your expectations for this senior season playing softball for Stephen Decatur?
My expectations are to have the best season yet and really show my team and lead them the best that I possibly can.
Talk a little bit, you're going to play softball in college at Hofstra. How excited are you to be able to take it to the next level?
I'm so excited. They're actually playing their first game tonight, and I feel like it's just going to be so exciting to watch, just to know that I'll be there in 1 year.
You know, how do you prepare for, you talk about preparation and everything, how do you prepare for going to that next level?
I'm not really sure, but all that I can do is continue to practice nonstop and just be perfectly ready as much as I can be.
You know, when you think of Stephen Decatur, you think of a lot of winning. Softball's, been winning too. What has it meant to you to be, at Stephen Decatur, put on a uniform and just being there around your friends?
It's meant so much to me because a lot of that you don't see when you're in travel ball. So just being with a different group of girls that I've grown up with my whole entire life, played Little League with them, it's just such an honor. And a lot of the girls, just building those friendships and also being teammates with them, it just means a lot.
So is this the year that the softball team wins that championship?
I hope so. I'm going to say yes. I think that we have a great team this year.
Of course, you have to live up to, football, winning back-to-back state championships.
There's a lot on the line.
When you're going through the hallways, what is it like when you're seeing Johnny Hobgood and some of the other, football players?
No, it's cool knowing how many great athletes we have.
What else do people need to know about Raleigh Smith?
That's a good question. I guess just how much goes behind the scenes. Like, I do so much mental training, which I think makes me a different player than a lot of others.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Back to you, Chris.
Well, coming up, Jeremy Gentry learned his fate in court today. Plus, Housing Secretary Jake Day sharing his thoughts today on a proposed bill concerning homeless shelters. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
This is College Schoolfield, free safety and running back at Delmarva High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Welcome back, everybody. Jeremy Gentry learning his fate in court today. Gentry was sentenced to life in prison, 25 years suspended after he pled guilty to first-degree murder, admitting to killing his mother, Beatrice Gentry. The incident occurred on May 5th, 2024, when officers found Beatrice's body in a bathtub with signs of severe trauma, including blunt force, cutting, and stab wounds. Gentry will not be eligible for parole until serving at least 20 years. And moving on, Delaware State Police investigating a shooting in Bridgeville yesterday afternoon. Just before 4 p.m., troopers responded to the 21,000 block of Coverdale Road, finding a 41-year-old man suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to a local hospital with critical injuries. Anyone with information on the incident is asked to contact police at 302-752-3832. And meanwhile, Secretary Jake Day shared his thoughts today on a proposed bill concerning homeless shelters. House Bill 93 and Senate Bill 234 require all homeless shelters to be compliant and licensed under the Department of Housing. This has many in the faith-based community worried about costs, security concerns, as well as the feeling that this infringes on their First Amendment rights to religious freedom. Secretary Day said there is no question that a faith-based institution may practice in the way they choose.
But in this country, our tradition is that our churches, our synagogues, our temples, they open their doors and invite people in. And that's not what an emergency shelter is. It's an option. It's not an option. It's a last resort. And so to act as the only emergency housing provider in a given area and to give people the choice of either freezing to death or practicing a faith other than their own, I don't think that's exactly American or Christ-like, nor should it be legal.
He added he's seen numerous cases of mismanagement in shelters that do not accept any state or federal funding. Moving on, Milton hosting its Municipal Candidates Forum. The event will take place from noon to 2 p.m. at the Milton Library and will be hosted by the League of Women Voters of Sussex County. Those in attendance will be Mayor John Collier and his opponent, Vice Mayor Lee Rivas Plank. The candidates are gearing up to fight for the mayor's spot next month, and they say they're both excited to speak to community members tomorrow.
Work ethic is, I know the amount of time and effort I put into this, and I do it very quietly. I'm not one to step out and say, look at me, this is what I'm doing. I just continue to do the work until I have a result.
If there's not 2 or more candidates, then there is not an election. And if there's no election, you don't have a vote. And if you don't have a vote, you don't have a voice in your government.
And the event will take place at 121 Union Street.
All right, so let's get things going here this evening. Outside, a very quiet evening. It was a nice end to the week. Our Valentine's Day forecast wasn't bad. It was a little cold, but quiet was probably the best thing here for this evening. Morse Roofing and Siding Skycam out of Rehoboth Beach. Temperatures are in the 20s in most spots. A couple 30s left over like in Easton and Wallops. Don't worry, you'll get to the 20s soon enough. 26 out of Salisbury and Cambridge right now at 28. So cold tonight, quiet. This weekend, huge changes. We're looking at a spring-like system that will be impacting the area. Part of the issue is this system is going to track to our north, so it's going to drag in a lot of Gulf moisture and a lot of Gulf air too. So mild and stable air, a strong cold front interacting with that air. You've got a lot of wind aloft, a lot of chaos in the atmosphere. It's a good setup for thunderstorms. You have the potential for a severe storm or two. Wouldn't be surprised if we had a warning pop up Sunday afternoon. So we're going to watch this closely here. Isolated damaging wind gusts for the central and southern parts of Delmarva. And I think everybody has a chance to get some heavy rain and a couple storms Sunday. High pressure and control of our weather right now. It's not sticking around. It's moving out right now. In fact, by tomorrow morning, we're going to go back to full cloudiness as the storm system is still developing right now. This thing is going to rocket north. It's going from barely alive at this point to a strong system by late tomorrow into early Sunday. So just give you an idea how quickly this is going to materialize. So you got plans tomorrow morning. We're all good to get things going after daybreak. I'd say right up to noon is where you can just assume that things are going to be fine. Afternoon, expect wet weather. You see here by 4 o'clock, it's going to be raining everywhere. Upper 30s, low 40s, just a chilly rain, ice mix, some snow. That's going to stay just north of Delmarva, so we're not concerned about that with this storm. Wait till I show you the 7-day because I have concerns about the next storm. All right, for Saturday evening, though, back to the heavy rain potential. That rain lifts north of the warm front. Notice how we're in the 50s Sunday morning. Temperatures well into the 60s Sunday afternoon. The sun might even come out a little bit into the afternoon, kind of mix things up a bit. And then 1 in the afternoon and on, a shower or thunderstorm chance will start to increase. You see Futurecast showing that here with the brighter colors, indicating where we could have some very heavy rain. Then the cold front kicks in. The front itself may have gusty winds we'll have to contend with. And that's when the Arctic air starts to move back in. Check the timestamp there. That's Sunday, mild air in the green, shoved to the south with this core of Arctic air coming in from Canada. The core will slide in our direction here Wednesday into Thursday and set the table for below average temperatures, cold enough for snow. Whether or not we get a storm to materialize and bring us that snow, still up for debate. But we're heading in that direction, it looks like. 20s tonight, quiet, no snow. Just rain tomorrow in the afternoon, 47 to 52. In your 7-day forecast, can't believe that. There's 66 Sunday. Looks good. Sticking around one day only. Back to reality for next week, President's Day 43.
upper 30s Tuesday. Chance for snow. We're going to call it a possibility starting late Wednesday and into Thursday. Again, checking out these models as we get closer, we'll have a better idea on any potential accumulation. We're not going to start talking that until Sunday or Monday, but Anthony, keeping a close eye on it, though. It does look like we're going to have some problems potentially.
Thank you so much, Rich. I know all these coaches, they want no more snow, and I don't either. Stick around. You're watching DSI.
Hi, I'm B.J. Johnson, head basketball coach at Stephen Decatur High School. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
And welcome back. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider. It's that time of year. The Xfinity Series is back, and they're going racing at Daytona International Speedway. For the last 6 races at Daytona have been under caution, and for the last 7 featured an overtime finish. 16 drivers have won the last 19 races at the track. The only 2 drivers with multiple wins, of course, is Austin Hill and Justin Haley. Qualified for the United Rentals 300 is tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Sam Mayer, who moved from JR Motorsports, Junior Motorsports, the Haas factory team, is a defending pole sitter. The pole sitter has won only 2 of the last 30 Xfinity races at Daytona. The race can be seen on our sister station, the CW, at 5 o'clock. All the Xfinity races this year can be seen on the CW, even when they race at Dover International Speedway there, Chris, and they go real fast at Dover.
That's my favorite part of NASCAR. I know I'll be tuning in for those. Well, if you haven't heard, or if maybe you live under a rock, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs this past Sunday. And today in Philadelphia, they did what you do when you win the Super Bowl. They had a parade, and we had a local businessman and his family attending the parade. The Delawarean Glenn Sweeten brought his family there, and these streets were packed at this parade. A sea of midnight green and Kelly green. I love those Kelly green uniforms for the Eagles. You can see in his video, I mean, just green. As far as the eye can see, it's an absolute ocean. Reportedly, over 1 million fans there. Sweeten is a longtime Eagles fan, did not want to miss this parade. He says it was an emotional day for him. Ranks as one of the best experiences he's ever had in his life.
Everybody was happy. Eagles chants. Every other word was "Go Birds." It was a great time. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I said it was one of my top 4. Behind getting married and having my kids, my daughters. And it was special to be there and be part of the celebration. And, Brandon Graham, number 55, is retiring. This is his last game. So it was kind of a nice farewell to him.
Have you ever been to a championship parade, Anthony?
No, I have not. It's just nice to be able to watch, on TV. But really, it's kind of cool that a local business guy from Georgetown went up to Philadelphia. He's originally from the area. He got a hotel room. He watched what was going on today. He was a little bit too far to kind of watch what was going on for the parade action, but he was close enough to watch the speeches at the end. Brandon Graham, and some other ones, of course, Saquon Barkley.
I mean, I know if I was an Eagles fan, I would have done just about anything to make the trip up there. I'm, really happy that all the birds lovers around here and on Delmarva got the chance to do that. Those who did. I actually went down into D.C. when the Nationals won the World Series in 2019. Took the Metro down there. I live just outside of Washington, D.C., so that was a great experience too.
We'll have to see maybe another local team at some point will get back. You never know.
Only hope.
Coming up after the break, find out who will be the WMDT Athlete of the Week. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Willie Downing, head coach of Lady Indians at Wycomico High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Chucky and Lewis calling in with 30 degrees tonight at a very quiet night overall, and no snow or ice to talk about with this system coming out. I know it's cold enough for it now, but we'll be warm enough for just a cold, chilly rain by tomorrow afternoon. We'll be in the 40s, the dog walking forecast here. So Bean, Carl, you're going to have to get Bean out early if you don't want any wet paws, of course. The afternoon, that will be a given. That's why I have red paws, because it will be wet everywhere. How about our weekend forecast to compare and contrast here the Saturday and Sunday outlook? We've got rain chances both days. Tomorrow is going to be a steady to heavy rain in the evening. That 51, that high is probably going to happen right at 11:59 p.m. Our temperature's slowly coming up. And then 66 on Sunday. Yes, 66. Chance for a few thunderstorms with potentially some gusty winds. So we get the little taste of spring, that little tease of what we're probably going to have more of here next month. And then back to February for next week. President's Day, a chilly but quiet one. And yes, Anthony and Chris, more snow. I know, Anthony. I know. You don't want any more. Unfortunately, you're going to get some more, probably.
Rich, I'd rather have more 60-degree weather than all that snow. It's just not me. It's those coaches. It's wrecking those sports schedules. But now it's one of the favorite things I like to do every week. Unveiled this week's WMDT Athlete of the Week. It was Amara Tingle, as she had a big game against Cambridge South Dorchester girls. 24 points and one of the biggest wins of the season for the Lady Jays.
Yeah, she was super impressive, and we want to hear who you think should win next week's award. Send in your suggestions to our email, sports@wmdt.com.
Now, Chris, and the feature that has returned, and you're doing that, and it's going to be every Monday.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think?
I'm really excited for the return of After the Whistle. Of course, we did Jordan Oates. This week, aired this past Monday. He's been having a great season with SU men's basketball. So there's going to be a new one every single Monday during the news hour moving forward. Jordan Oates, like we said, he's been great. Seagulls getting ready to host their conference tournament in the C2C. But this coming Monday, taking a look at an athlete who's not in season. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone have a great night.
That's going to do it. As always, thanks so much.